Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to review the ALP for English 101-04A syllabus. Now, just a reminder guys, this is already posted to Canvas. However, I thought that some people might prefer to hear me read through this while they followed along rather than just reading, just staring at the screen. So let's get started. Well, obviously, you know, my name is Professor Rotter. You can call me Professor Rotter or Mux Rotter. Mux is a gender-neutral honorific, like Mr. or Mrs., although those are the gendered versions. It is spelled MX, period. So Mux Rotter or Professor Rotter. Now, I just would remind you guys that the ALP course, this course, is online, but will still follow a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. So you will have new materials released on those class days. And if there's a classwork assignment, something I need you to do that day, it'll be indicated. It'll be due by the end of that day. For other assignments like homework, those are things that will be due on other days, but always by 11:59 p.m., always by the end of the day, and always within Canvas. Likewise, if you need to schedule an appointment with me, if you don't want to speak via email, if it must be a video conference, we can do that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday by appointment. And those conferences would take place over video chat in Microsoft Teams. So if you're not already familiar with how to use it, make sure that you are before you request an appointment. Now, speaking of requesting an appointment or contacting me in general, you would contact me at my email, lrotter@carrollcc.edu. When you send an email, make sure that you include a subject line that tells me what class you're in as well as what you're contacting me about. Moving on, for required text and materials, you don't need anything extra for the ALP course. You'll only need your English 101 materials. Now, as for what the purpose of this course is, I'm not going to read this whole description, but I will tell you, bottom line, the purpose of the ALP course is to support your success in the English 101 course. So we'll have a lot more time to get in detail on things that we might not have time for in 101. And this is going to be especially helpful when it comes to writing our essays. We will spend a lot more time workshopping than we have the ability to do in 101. Now, these are the objectives for basically the things that you should be able to comfortably do once you're done in the ALP course. We should be very comfortable with organizing essays with topic sentences and focused paragraphs and clear thesis statements. We should be able to describe our audience very clearly. Basically, we should be able to identify the reasons for writing, who we're writing for, the effect we want to create, so on and so forth. Ooh, now one thing I did just notice when it says write a research proposal project for the signature portfolio project. So that might not sound very clear, but all that means is toward the end of the semester in 101, you'll be writing or completing the signature assignment, which is just an essay that's handed down from the administration. So the research proposal is something that you'll do in ALP, where essentially you'll write a proposal telling me how you plan to execute your signature assignment in the other class. Now, moving on to the types of assignments we'll have, the first category includes reading and writing exercises. So these exercises are designed to help you strengthen your ability to remember and understand what you've read. That's what reading comprehension is. It's also supposed to help you to be able to more easily understand on a sentence level what information is being communicated. So we are going to spend a fair amount of time practicing things like grammar and mechanics, making our writing more efficient. So these are some of the assignments that you'll find in the reading and writing category. Reading comprehension exercises, quick writes, grammar and diction exercises. And these things will sometimes be interactive, sometimes be discussion-based, sometimes will be individually done. The next category then is the expression workshop. Now, the expression workshop activities are focused specifically on sentence level abilities. So diction, which is your word choice, sentence structure, how well you organize your sentences, how easily they're understood, and your grammar. I mean, really, all of this comes back to making yourself as easily understood as possible. So there'll be 8 of these workshops scattered across the semester. Now, some of this grammar stuff will come up in 101 as well, but it's going to be far more intense, far more focused, far more in-depth in the ALP course. And honestly, guys, you're going to be the ones helping the 101 students out. That's how it usually goes, at least. Okay, so the next category would be the application activities. Now, this category refers to any work that we do on your essays. So whether it is an out-of-class conference, in this case, there would be video conferences still, but whether it's we're discussing one-on-one, whether we are peer reviewing, whether we're breaking things down to introduction, paragraph by paragraph, conclusion, transitions, research, MLA, anything related to the essay that would fall into this category. And then we'd move on to the mid-semester conference. Now, this is something that we'll do about halfway through the semester around midterms to check in and see how you're feeling about the course, and as well as to give any recommendations for how you can continue your success until the end of the semester. Then we move on to the research proposal assignment, which I mentioned earlier. And again, this proposal is something you will do essentially to tell me, hey, I'd like to write about XYZ topic, and this is why, and here is how I plan to execute my research. Then we move on to the grading breakdown, basically what each category is worth. As you can see, reading and writing is worth 30%, expression workshop activities are worth 20%, application activities are worth 30%, the mid-semester conference is worth 5%, the research proposal assignment is worth 15%. And again, I'd like to remind you guys that when it comes to these assignments, unless otherwise specified, they will always be due by the end of the day, 11:59 p.m., on the given due date. And the due dates will change, so just make sure you pay attention to each assignment. Now we move on to the final course grades. Basically, how each grade category is determined. Final course grades are based on your overall average for the course using the percentage scale below. Now, I need to change that. It says, please be aware that Blackboard calculates. It should say Canvas calculates, since we use Canvas now. So these are the categories from A to C and from D plus down to F. Now let's move on to talk about plagiarism and academic honesty. Now, this is an essential conversation and one we will also have in 101. Now, you should have already reviewed the Carroll Community College Integrity Pledge or Code of Integrity, but we'll just go over a few essential factors here. Cheating and plagiarism are serious offenses and will not be tolerated. It is expected that students complete their own work unless collaboration is expressly permitted by the instructor. Plagiarism not only includes copying material from the published sources, but also from other students and online sources. You should already be somewhat familiar with MLA documentation style, but we are going to continue to build upon that foundation in this course. English 101, it's considered something that's basic, but we are, going to be learning it, and we will spend time on that in ALP as well. MLA requires the use of quotation marks, in-text references, and a list of works cited to credit outside source of information and ideas, among the other details with which we will become more familiar. Additionally, each submitted essay will be screened using Turnitin feedback. This tool is built into Canvas and is designed to help both students and instructors detect borrowed language and ideas, which, of course, require proper citation. Consider this Turnitin an ally rather than an enemy. So basically what that means is when you turn something into a Turnitin portal, you're able to see immediately if there's anything that you should maybe go back and double check. And it offers services related to research, citation, as well as spelling and grammar. Now let's move on to class etiquette. Now, although we will be operating online in ALP and ALP, we still have expectations for how we're going to treat one another. In both physical and online settings, we will all expect and provide mutual respect and consideration in our words and actions. It is never appropriate to badger, insult, or otherwise alienate a classmate or faculty member. Try to also keep in mind that without tone of voice, body language, and facial expression, text has the unfortunate opportunity of coming off the wrong way. So always take a moment to think about what you're writing before posting. And on that note, guys, email etiquette is another essential skill, one which many new college students have yet to master. Regardless of whether you are writing a personal, professional, or academic email, the correspondence must begin with a subject line to let the reader know what this email is about, as well as a greeting. So here we see the greeting, "Hello, Professor Rotter." Then we get to the meat of the message. I would appreciate some feedback on the introduction I'm working on for the short stories essay. Should I provide a short summary of the story before giving my thesis? Best student name. It is clear what the student is asking for, it's respectful, polite, and will receive an email response rather quickly. So, the reply you should expect to receive would look something like this. "Hello, student name. Thank you for your message. Yes, anytime you are analyzing a work of literature, a brief summary is necessary before the thesis. This allows your reader to know all the essential facts of the story before trying to understand your analysis or argument. Best, Professor Rotter." Now, moving on to some details about the library services. This is basically for your reference. It's already posted on the Carroll website on carrollcc.edu, but these are kind of quick links for if you guys need any library help. All right, everybody, we're done, so it's time to enjoy a nice iced mocha.